Hello, Wanderers. Welcome back to our Stellaris Roleplay series, and here we see one of nature's greatest marvels and greatest mysteries, that of a black hole. We can see the accretion disk, all those hot gases swirling around it here, the photon sphere, where light that is traveling just a bit too fast to fall in past the event horizon, and then, of course, somewhere deep inside is the singularity itself. Now, I am somebody who likes to ingest quite a bit of space-based knowledge. I watch a lot of videos on astrophysics. PBS Spacetime is one of my favorites. I'm not sure if any of you guys have any suggestions for other ones in the comments below. Anton Petrov, another one that I watch quite a lot of, actually. Let me know if you guys are into those kind of YouTube channels as well. But regardless of how much I watch, my knowledge is all very amateur level. I'm happy to learn more and always love recommendations for that kind of thing. But like I said, it's something that I enjoy learning about, and you can't really get any crazier when it comes to what nature can produce than this right here. This is not something that nature has produced. This is some kind of wormhole, gate, something like that. And our technology level, that of the Gunderson Research Society, is not quite yet enough to understand how to use something like this, but we do hope that we will reach that point. We'll see about the near future, but at the very least, we are going to be pursuing all ends of research. And over here, I noticed something quite cool, and that is a cracked planet. That is, I wouldn't want to have been on that planet when that happened. I don't know if a planet cracking like that is possible within the realm of physics. Something tells me probably not. I think if something like this had happened, the entire planet would just be a molten ball of melted rock. But like I said, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I am not a physicist. I am just a YouTuber. But anyways, let's back out of here a little bit. And yes, the L gate. Now, if I do sound a little bit different in this episode, it is because I have a pretty bad cold right now. So this might be a little bit of a shorter episode. I'm fighting through it to try to get this out to you guys. I was hoping it would clear up by now, but it has not. So we're just gonna be making do with what I have. I've got some hot tea here, despite the fact that it is 30 degrees, or I don't know what that is in the terms down south of the border, 90 something maybe. So hot tea and hot temperatures does not make for a comfortable YouTube recording studio. But anyways, I might be wandering on a little bit simply because my head is all cloudy, but let's try to catch up and figure out exactly what's going on here. So where last we left off, yes, I am recalling here, we had an important decision to make, and that was whether we were going to allow the roaming Sinrath starfarers aboard our ship. Now, I put that out to you in the comments, and there were quite a few comments on this, and a few of the people were a little bit hesitant, but I was actually quite surprised. The majority of comments that I saw tended to lean towards allowing the Sinrath starfarers aboard the ship. They are scientists. We do have a lot in common with them, but some other people made some comments that it's only been a very short period of time since we encountered the Sinrath starfarers and the other species of the galaxy that we have encountered thus far, which, if I do recall, include the interstellar Naram consortium, which, yeah, we do not like. So we are essentially facing off with the two different sides of things. We've encountered alien species that seem to align with our own ideals, and then we've seen some that seem hostile to us. So we do need to be cautious, I think. Now, I do want to go with the masses here and allow the Sinrath starfarers aboard the ship, but I do want to placate and, to use some terms from the game here. The Xeno Reform Committee, which is a pretty large faction, not the largest faction, but those of you on that Xeno Reform Committee, among which we can count our illustrious leader, Arc Surveyor Bjorn Gunderson, wish to allow them aboard the ship. We had some in the United as one party who were a little bit more cautious, and I think we can placate both. I think we're going to allow some Sinrath starfarers aboard the ship, and we're going to cut that off once we've had a few. So we'll bring a few of their scientists off, but we're not going to have just an endless migration treaty where we're going to let a few on. So I am going to agree, but we're going to keep a very close eye on our population here, if I can see that. Where species? Yeah, we're going to keep a very close eye on our population. As soon as we get that first little bit of the Sinrathi on here, we'll end the migration treaty, and we'll just see how our society and the Hyacinth, the society aboard the Hyacinth, deals with a small group of Sinrathi scientists that we allow on the ship. So that's my plan. I think that's the right way to approach this. The Ark ship, where is the Ark ship? We're currently in the Nithascal system. And what are they about to be doing? They are doing some surveying. All right, let's let time roll because we should be in a relatively decent position here. One thing I do want to consider doing is hosting a celebration aboard the ship. If we go and take a look here, we can host a festival. Ark ship begins celebration. Unique approach for operational reserves. Spends the reserves to gain powerful productivity benefits. So we can do this, and I kind of want to do this once we get those first Sinrathi aboard. But we do have an event here, the Wellness Retreat. In a secluded section of the Ark ship, we uncovered a hidden wellness retreat operating outside official systems. Diverted power, consumer goods, and water sustain this controlled environment designed for rest and recovery. Those present showed little concern at being discovered, explaining the space was meant to exist beyond a constant need to focus on output and show off efficiency and escape from the routines of ship life. Even though the Ark ship was meant to fulfill every need, some still seek a place meant for pure relaxation. Oh yes, I do recall we were losing resources somewhere. Huh. Interesting. Demolish the place, let them relax in peace. Job efficiency goes up and happiness goes up. Reclaim space, housing goes up, job efficiency goes up. Ooh, that's a good question. Ooh, what fits more with we do have an authoritarian government. And you know what? Even though normally when I would be playing this, I'd probably lean towards let them relax in peace. I think the roleplay answer here for what the Gunderson Research Society is, the fact that we have limited space aboard the Ark ship, I think, and we are an authoritarian government, and these are going against the authority, and I think we have to demolish the place. I think that's the only reasonable option here. Fleet automation, let's collect stockpile and complete projects.
Anomaly detected.
I'll have them working on that over there. Oh wait, you were... Oh, yes, okay. I do need to build a way station. One, two, three, four. Gotta build 4 more way stations, so we'll need to take care of that. We do have an anomaly. This planet emits strange magnetic waves, unlike anything we have seen so far, almost as if it is trying to communicate with us. It is only logical to investigate this unusual phenomenon. We may have just encountered an extraordinary example of life on a planetary scale. Ooh, this is challenging, but that is... Can we take a look at this planet here? Was it the gas giant? Yeah, it was. Strange magnetic waves. Curious. We'll let our scientists handle that. We do have a leader leveling up, Rob Blackburn, our fleet ambassador. He could become a delegate diplomatic weight. Galactic Community Emissary. Ooh, Federation. I don't mind the idea of forming a federation at some point. Can we... How do we even do that? Agreements? Oh yeah, let's check our population here. Have we accepted any other species aboard the ship? Total pops. That's not aboard our ship, I do believe. Where can I see my own population? Okay, that is a good question. Do we see it aboard the ship? Size, population, human. Okay, it's still all humans aboard the Hyacinth.
System surveyed.
Oh yes, and we have this event here. What the G.E.M. Cernunos found on Haftorang B1 were not buildings, but surprisingly regular mineral outcroppings. Science officer Abraham Hunter asserts that these angular rocks of black are the blocks of rock are the product of interactions between tectonic plates. Their shapes the result of unusual tectonophysics inherent in the planet's crust. The perfect angularity of these thrust faults implies a possibility of aliens tampering with the planet's crust at some point in the past. Intriguing. I will admit that is intriguing, even if I don't quite comprehend it. Observational insights. Our scientists are in the process of gathering insights from our pre-FDL study subjects. We may discover new insight technology or breakthrough event. All right, that is not sure exactly where that's happening. Presumably on Fulaz? Maybe? Curious. In any case, like I said, guys, I am, it might not sound like it, or maybe it does, but I am quite ill as I record this. And although I haven't been recording a lot of episodes recently, rest assured that I am doing my utmost to record when I can. Life has been absolutely insane over here. Probably not as hard as it is for the people aboard the G.E.M. Hyacinth, but Stray is a busy man. You get Stray unfiltered when he's recording, when he's not feeling too well. We'll see how much of this conversation makes it into the episode. No idea. Oh, station capacity. We have exceeded the capacity of our stations. That is interesting. How do we increase it? Utilize certain technologies and traditions. Okay. Our technologies are still progressing along relatively decently. We're deciphering some arcane knowledge, self-evolving logic, research alternative, always nice. And then we've got just a couple more months remaining here for the improved wayline logistics. Development focus. Okay. Like I said, I do want to keep an eye on our population to see when we do get some Sinrathi aboard. I guess they're going to get some human scientists as well.
New technology.
So we'll see what they have to teach us. Oh, I see. I missed one here. Oh, nice. That new technology did give us a little bit of extra leeway there. So that's good. These aren't the best places to be putting my waylines, but like I said, I want to connect up our giant wayline here. We do need to select the new technology, weather control systems, assembly patterns, arc ship construction. Now, somebody did mention that we do need to get arc ship construction first before we can get arc ship engineering, which seems backwards to me. I think we should probably understand how to upgrade and engineer different parts of our arc ship before completely creating an entire new one. But who am I to judge the logic of the devs who made this game? I'm just a YouTuber. I think we'll grab this one because I do want to get the engineering. I know it's probably not the best option because I don't necessarily intend to create another arc ship right away. but we'll see. By tracing weak energy trails, most likely left by spacefaring vessels, one particular asteroid in the cluster was singled out. Closer inspection of the asteroid surface confirmed the theory of prior space traffic, as multiple signs of landing and takeoff were found on the rocky exterior. Sensors also indicate cavities and
System
tunnels within the
surveyed.
asteroid, which may be excavated. Let's take a look. What do we have here? Available leader traits. Carter Drews, the commander of the Defense Fleet Dark Hope. Engineer. Engineer is decent or resilient. He's old already. He's getting up in years, so maybe we can keep him around for a little bit longer. Might as well. See if he makes it into his centennial years. We'll see. We've got a decent little defense fleet here. I'm absolutely certain that we would get wrecked by pretty much any other species that wanted to do us harm, which is not ideal. But yeah, I'm still figuring out what our playstyle is gonna be for this. Generally, like I said in previous episodes, just go high technology, max out technology as much as possible. And we're probably not even doing that good of a job of that either. We don't have any construction going on. I might as well add some research labs to the ship. We've got a bunch of voltaic production yards. We've got food here. I just really want to get some new buildings
System
in
charted.
order to
Council agenda ready.
oh gosh, what should I say? Oh, the curator order has at least one station in the system. Anyways, I'm distracted. This asteroid appears to have served as the home of a single Ute individual. Deep scans show a series of connected caves in the asteroid's interior that follow a pattern similar to the rooms seen in ancient Ute dwellings that have been discovered elsewhere. To learn more, we'll have to dispatch an away team to investigate the system. Send in the red
Situation
shirts.
log updated.
Has anybody here watched Star Trek? I might be dating myself a little bit here, but when I was very young, I remember watching Star Trek The Next Generation with my dad, and I always thought it was an interesting show. I don't know how much it holds up. I feel like I recall
New technology discovered.
watching the very first episode of the show like a few years back and realizing that it was like a Q episode, which seems like a very strange place to start the Star Trek Next Generation series. If you guys know anything about Q or just Star Trek in general. Yeah, that was an interesting choice for the very first episode. We have open arms here. We're gonna need a new agenda: arc ship development. Tech progress gained. This is good. Yeah, this will boost our technology here. Society research is done, so we can grab something here. Ancient macro batteries. This could make our ships better. Claim influence interstellar campaigns. Not something I think we need right now. Gene clinics could be good, but I do think at some point we're gonna need to drop a little bit of time. 88 months is a long time to spend on this, but these could be pretty good. Could I go and check exactly how good? Yes. Maybe there's an easy way to see that, because I think we've got some. Do we have guns on our ship? Perhaps we do not. Can we take a look at our defense fleet? Can we look at just a single ship? What kind of guns are they packing? Yeah, damage 5 to 16. Doesn't seem particularly good compared to 12 to 35. It's more than doubling. I'm gonna go for it. I think it's worth it to boost our ship up in that manner. You can get one more way station here, so I'm gonna go grab one at the Foranus black hole. Not the most useful one, as mentioned, but if we can connect this way line up, that will be satisfying for other vague reasons. A Canaan civilization encountered. We have detected the presence of an alien civilization on Beskal 1 in the Beskal system. They appear to be in an early space age, as evidenced by the many primitive satellites orbiting their home world. Their nation states... Oh, whoa. Why do these guys get to live in the coolest system? And who is this? The science ship, the Ooh class, Nar. Oh, this is the Interstellar Narn Consortium. Hey, they're not even actually that strong. What's the Hyacinth at again? Their arc ship's a little more powerful than ours, but we got the better fleet. We would probably actually be able to beat them, maybe beat them in a fight here, if we can upgrade the arc ship, which
System
honestly,
scan complete.
we might as well boost up some armor plating. How good is shields? I feel like there's a meta here that I don't fully understand, so I'm just gonna do one of each. I'm sure that's better than nothing at the very least. Pascal system. This is a very cool looking system, not gonna lie. Space Age Society there. And then those damned Narins or whoever it is are investigating into there. Now the question is, where in the world, where in the solar system? Nope. Where in the galaxy is Sol? We do need to find it, and thus far there haven't been any signs of the ancient human homeworld. There are flaming tornadoes, however. The source of the extreme heat signatures on Fidhilam 1A have been discovered. Across the planet, geysers are emitting highly flammable hydrogen gas from deep below the surface. As these geysers erupt, the planet's heat ignites the gas, resulting in vast pillars of flame blasting into the skies. When combined with the atmospheric pressure, this creates extremely volatile air currents, sending streams of fire swirling across the landscape in the form of massive flaming tornadoes. While a devastating natural phenomena, our researchers are confident that these tornadoes and the vast volumes of kinetic energy they generate could be recreated artificially for practical use. Ooh, that makes that into a pretty good planet. Oh man, I hate that these guys have cut off Blunt. Isn't that a D&D creature? Ooh, but Kifatar is still open. I should have went and grabbed this actually, because that is a vast amount of minerals there. You know what? Since we're probably not going to get it, I think that we just go and harvest those resources once the opportunity is around. Yeah. Get those resources, drain that system before they can build a way station there. Communications established. The ancient civilization on Fulaz 2 has finished construction of its first interplanetary vessel in orbit of their homeworld, for better or worse. These aliens are now ready to join the galactic community and must be counted among the galaxy's current spacefaring races. They appear to have successfully translated our... Ooh! Is this a... That's so cool. I don't think I've seen that happen too many times before. I'm sure it's happened while I've played before. But wow, that's cool. So these were a pre-FTL civilization that became an FTL civilization while we were playing. Theocratic monarchy. Fanatic xenophile. Okay, spiritualist. So they're not going to be strong. Met alien, I represent the Dorbolan Foundation, led by the illustrious Archprophet Sassadem Kerfargith. We rule our region of space under a divine mandate, and so long as you do not interfere in our spiritual affairs, we look forward to learning more about your culture. We all have much to gain from this. Yeah, okay, I'm willing to be happy with these guys. We can even establish an embassy with them. They're gonna be pretty weak. They've got what? They've got the... that's not that weak. They don't have much going on for themselves here. Just a small system. And yeah, we've got a way station going through there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's these ones right here. Nice. Maybe we can shepherd them into the galaxy. Maybe a federation forming is not that far off. How's the pops looking? Still just humans. Can we look at discoveries? Species. Empire species. Yeah, we still don't have any of the Sindrathi. Getting inside the asteroid, the expedition made quite a fascinating discovery. Abandoned cryopods, hundreds of thousands of them, lined vast, dugout chambers. Each pod was opened and inactive, giving the impression that they had already fulfilled their purpose. The current theory is that the asteroid served as some kind of colonization shuttle, hurled through space towards some prosperous habitat. When in proximity to its destination, automated systems woke up the slumbering cargo, and they left the asteroid in short-distance spacecraft to get to their new home. Research gains self-aware colony ships. We don't do colony ships, but it is pretty cool. We've established the embassy. That is nice. Contacts. The Debrolin Spiritual Seekers form a non-aggression pact. I'm willing to do that. I don't think we're willing to guarantee their independence. Form Federation. Requires the Federation Code technology. Okay. Yeah, I agree with the non-aggression pact. Totally fine with all that. All right. Yeah, okay. Despite the fact that the search for Earth...
Construction online.
Ooh, the TRAPPIST system. This is a famous system. Now, if I recall correctly, the TRAPPIST system is well known because it was said to have, 2 or 3 of these planets are within the Goldilocks zone? Presumably, and just guessing kind of based on this, assuming it's fairly accurate, I'm guessing it's going to be like TRAPPIST 3 and TRAPPIST 4. Now, the problem with planets that are orbiting red dwarfs is that because they orbit a lot closer, somebody's going to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but because they have to orbit a lot closer to the star itself, it means that they're far more likely to become tidally locked. Tidally locked meaning that one side of the planet is always facing the star, much like one side of the moon is always facing Earth, so the moon is tidally locked with Earth. You guys probably know all this anyways. But regardless of that, this is a system that, yeah, is said to have potentially, it might even be 3. It might be TRAPPIST 2, TRAPPIST 3, and TRAPPIST 4 might all be within the Goldilocks zone. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are capable of sustaining life. It just means that they are orbiting at a range in which liquid water could be possible on the planet. So that opens up some possibilities perhaps for life, but I don't know exactly. Oh, okay, here, TRAPPIST 4. There we go, or TRAPPIST 5. I guess TRAPPIST 5 is one of the ones supposed to be within the Goldilocks zone. And presumably in this game, they have decided that TRAPPIST 5 is an actual habitable planet, which is cool. So yeah, but where is the TRAPPIST system in relation? Is it a system that is near the Sol system? I don't think so. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head how many light years away in reality the TRAPPIST system is from us. That's a good question. Somebody maybe can go and look that up and let me know down in the comments. But the fact that we know of this system is worth noting. Could the Sol system be somewhere in here or perhaps over here? Difficult to say. We might discover it at some point though. The fact that these guys here are building a lot of way lines is somewhat concerning, however. But we just have to do what we do. Terraforming candidate. Yeah, okay. Cool. And then this just basically ends here. This is a dead end. Fascinating. Surveying plenty of systems. We've got what, 4 science ships going, not to mention the Hyacinth doing its own surveying, correct? We have found the wreckage of an archaic spaceship of unusual design. Instead of using propulsion similar to that of modern ships, the craft relied on large sails unfurled in the vacuum of space. Presumably, the ship harvested solar energy and drifted on the solar winds created by starlight. We should dig deeper. That is one of those technologies. Solar sail technology is something that has been suggested for possibly powering an interstellar probe.
Discovered.
I don't think it would probably be very fast, but I don't know. Maybe my knowledge of that. Ooh, astral harvesting, astral action. Ooh, that. Oh, Dyson swarm. Ooh, a Dyson swarm. That's a mega structure, but that is on the way to creating a Dyson sphere. I don't know if we can we even do these types of things. Can we make mega structures? Because we don't own systems. I actually don't know. But it's a rare technology. Astral harvesting. I'm gonna grab this. I don't think that's the best option. I don't even know if we'll be able to make. We've started. Oh yeah, the Hyacinth. We've gotten some resources there. Nice. A small short-range transmitter has been located on the surface of Ep.5. It appears to be an ancient survey marker placed here eons ago to mark a large deposit of precious metals. The miners it was meant for evidently never arrived, as the deposit is still here. Specimen obtained. Ancient mining transmitter. That is just lovely. Still just humans aboard the ship. You got a negative trait. Narrow-minded. His research speed is, or the society research speed has gone down. Narrow-minded. Interesting that the Arc Surveyor here has now become a little bit narrow-minded in his old age. We have made first contact with an unknown entity. We have codenamed them Gremlins. We'll find out what these gremlins are all about. Good, bad, and difficult to say. We don't know just yet. Rune Dyson Sphere. Funnily enough, we actually are researching that. We have encountered the remains of an enormous space structure in Jungal. Can we take a look at this? Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. This is a Dyson Sphere. Now, this is obviously much more advanced than a Dyson Swarm. The Dyson Swarm essentially not necessarily even just a ring, but a group or many groups of energy harvesting ships or platforms or whatever you'd like to call them surrounding a sun, harvesting the energy from that. A Dyson Sphere, a true Dyson Sphere, is when you encapsulate the entire star within a structure to absorb all of the energy output of that star. So this is interesting. Our scientists theorize that this may have once been a functional Dyson Sphere, a megastructure designed to harness the power of a star. It is obviously no longer operational, with its hull having sustained critical damage from an unknown type of energy weapon. Of note are also the large debris fields surrounding the sphere. The system appears to be significantly younger. Most of it seems to originate from two distinct battle fleets that pummeled each other into oblivion, possibly in a war to decide ownership over the shattered sphere at some point in more recent galactic history. Very fascinating. Something that we can rebuild? I don't know what we can do as... It's not even within our general sphere of influence either. What's going on here? Remote engineering research. Science contract. Conduct engineering research aboard an ARC ship on behalf of the contract issuer. The DeBoran Foundation. Our engineering projects have room to go. Put your applied scientists to work. Reward. We get some decent resources here. Interesting. What happens if we accept but we don't do it? Do I really know? I don't know if I do know. What's the ARC ship doing? Are you actually doing anything? Do we need to get you automated again? Fleet automation? Collect stockpile. Automate. And you... Yeah, you harvested all that, which is nice. You gotta go and meet up with the ARC ship. Will you do that if I... Yeah, okay, they will. Good. The game isn't dumb. Ish. Alright. Not a lot has necessarily happened thus far in this episode, but I do just enjoy the progress we make. The funny thing is, within this game, you have such beautiful artwork in the systems. Artwork or graphics or whatever you want to call it. Art design, anyways. within the systems itself, but the game almost encourages you to play in this map mode where you can really see a bird's eye view of the galaxy. Oh, they got another contract, or maybe we've accepted this contract. Regardless, yeah, it encourages you to play this so you can see kind of all the stuff that's going on, but ultimately it is just so important to go in and just look at all of the different systems and see these things like this neutron star. It looks amazing. The fact that the entire game isn't played in here, it kind of makes you forget sometimes when you're playing in this mode just how good this game looks. We did develop some more science. Exotic gas refining. I'll show you some exotic gas refining. Oh god, yeah, clearly I am. My brain is turning into mush the longer this episode goes on. Arc furnace capacity unlocks megastructure arc furnace. Oh, although fleet command, yeah, this could be good. I actually don't mind getting a destroyer type ship. Timed project. Isolate the signal in the Jurnast system. Can we do that? Hopefully one of our scientists will just kind of go there automatically. They might. We have them all automated for those kinds of things. I didn't get what you said there. Who is this? Borin, the renowned paragon, the short and sturdy mechanic, is squeezed into an exoskeleton. Tools, scattered parts, and greasy hands bear the telltale marks of a tinkerer, and his eyes glint with curiosity and enthusiasm. Mornin' boss, I'm Borin, son of Noga. Pleased to make your acquaintance. He's a scientist, and he's a statistician. Traits: brilliant shipwright, materials salvager, substance abuser. Yeah, he likes to get himself a little bit of the space booze there. All right, leader lifespan minus 10 years. Why did you leave your previous job? Honestly, I got bored ever since I can remember. I've dreamed of cruising the void. I wanted to push myself how far I can go, so I packed my tools. Now, unless you have more questions, what do you say we get to building? Why work for us? Just trying to make my way in the galaxy. You seem like an employer that values hard work and a steady hand. Someone who sees the world for what it is, taking the things we have and using them to build a better future. What can you do for us? Been a salvager for 30 years. I figure that'll do for a resume. You need something built, something repaired? He points his thumb at his chest. I can do it. Not to boast or anything, but I've fixed everything there is to be fixed. Not just me. We've got a team of custom bots to dismantle, cut, weld, gather, and repair whatever you need. Give me a crew and I can service your whole navy if you want. The bigger the better as far as I'm concerned. Enlist. I am not opposed to getting our first alien aboard this ship. Start with one, let some Sinrathi aboard after. Let's just see what it's like with him aboard this ship. I don't even know what we do with this guy. Give him a position in the government? I don't know about that. He could be a scientist. To get him to replace somebody on one of the ships? A renowned scientist? And Freya Gunderson could come back and come back to the Hyacinth. I'm honestly not opposed to that. All right, Borin, you can start there, work your way up. We'll put you in command of one of our science ships. Amazingly, while conducting their survey of GR-038, the crew within the Cernunnos picked up several life signs coming from within the asteroid. Large, burrowing, worm-like lithivores within the rock. Lithivores are rock eaters, which has been riddled with tunnels. These have somehow adapted to a life in the coldness of space. Very cool. All right, hacked with the Dorbolin Foundation. We can agree to that, I believe. Like I said, not necessarily a lot has happened in this episode. I think things are gonna really start to heat up at some point in the not that far future. But thus far, we've been exploring a decent chunk of the galaxy. I'd say we've got maybe 1/6, maybe 1/7 of the galaxy charted thus far. There's still plenty out here for us to discover, and hopefully Soul is out there. But I am fading fast here. I've recorded as long as I could here. Hopefully I'll be able to get another episode out once I am a little bit more recovered, but this will have to do for now. Until the next one, Wanderers, thank you for watching.